you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe.
What is up, everyone? When it comes to this support supplement Saturday, I'm going to be going over, I'll probably go over 4 tips when it comes to the weight loss, because otherwise it's going to be a really long video for you guys. The first one is being in a caloric deficit. However, 250 to 500 under what it takes to maintain yourself. So everyone knows your BMR, which I've gone over multiple times for you guys. Your basic metabolic rate. Your body uses units of energy in order to survive. When it comes to breathing, you're using units of energy. When your heart is beating, your lungs, everything just functioning is using units of energy. So in order for you to function, you need to have those. Being too much of a caloric deficit will increase the probability of you having health issues, you losing muscle mass, which will decrease your BMR, which ultimately will slow down you being able to achieve your weight loss goal. So, from that perspective, if you find out, hey, in order to maintain myself, I need 2,000 calories. If I want to lose weight, I'm going to do a healthy option, just from nutrition, 250 to 500 under. So now, let's say you are eating 1,500 calories a day, nutrient-dense foods make up 80 to 90% of it, then you'll be able to see, hey, I'm losing about 1 pound per week, 4 pounds in a month. This is just the nutrition. You need to make sure nutrient-dense foods, your protein intake should be relatively on the higher end, just because the protein will help to preserve that muscle. More muscle that you're able to preserve, the higher your BMR is going to be, because you want it to stay as much as you can on the higher end. That way, when you hit your goal, you'll notice that, hey, I am not going to rebound because my BMR is here, and I am now going to be able to, let's say your BMR actually goes up because you gain some muscle mass. And let's say you have now 2,250. You would be able to eat up to that and just maintain yourself, and you'll be good. Versus if you lose a lot of muscle mass and you end up eating up, you'll eventually end up gaining weight back. Now, second tip is the training regimen. If you have your nutrition there and you notice you're already losing weight, you need to add a training regimen in order to progress it along, also to keep that muscle mass on you. For the same reasons, to keep your BMR as high as you can, to make it so you ultimately are going to still have your strength, you're going to still have your abilities there. Plus, when you are losing weight, you'll be able to function a lot better. When it comes to any plane of motion, you'll be able to move so much easier and your joints are not going to hurt as much. Your training regimen needs to take that into account. If you are morbidly obese, or on a heavier overweight category, then you need to take into account low impact to moderate impact exercises. Don't do high impact, because someone who has excessive amount of weight on them has a higher likelihood of damaging their joints if they're doing, like, say, box jumps, running, stuff like that. Now, when it comes down to it, instead of doing the running or box jumps for cardio, I would recommend swimming for people who have that issue. Walking when it comes down to it. Climbing up stairs. When it comes to Stairmaster, you can get aware of that, or you can just do stairs at your house, do stairs in a building, or if you start to feel better, you can go hiking or something like that. Now, when it comes down to it though, if you are doing a caloric deficit and you're doing it 250 to 500 under, you have a proper training techniques and you have proper training regimen in general, doing the cardiovascular training for your heart health, for your lungs, everything like that. Plus, when it comes to the weight loss, your resistance training to help maintain that muscle, weight loss, strengthen bones, everything like that, they will go hand in hand and they will help you to speed up your weight loss goal. weight loss process to achieve your goal. The third one is doing resistance training and cardiovascular training that you honestly enjoy. I hate seeing people on a treadmill on a beautiful day outside and I'm acting like there's a freaking treadmill over here, but if you're on a treadmill and you hate it, don't do that form of cardio. If you enjoy, if this is someone who is overweight, morbidly obese, overweight, or you're in the middle and you're obese. When I'm saying overweight, you're on the heavier overweight category, almost into the obese category. I'm going to say low impact, but find things that you enjoy. Comes to the cardio. And when you start to lose more weight and you want to go back to playing some basketball or doing soccer, or you're doing low impact basketball, being due to the jumping and running is going to be more on the higher impact. But again, take into account what you're doing. Take into account how much weight you've lost, how you're feeling, talk to your doctors, if you go to a physical therapist, or if you have some personal trainers and stuff like that. And just overall how you personally feel. So I recommend if someone who's overweight and is still getting into it, do low impact to moderate impact exercising for the cardio that you honestly enjoy a little bit more. Not that it does not challenge you, but you honestly enjoy more because you're more likely to do it. That will increase the amount of calories you are burning, increase the amount of weight loss you will be able to do. Now, when it comes to resistance training, same thing, but take into account the low impact to high impact. Low impact is going to be easier on your joints. High impact is going to be harder on your joints, and that goes for anyone, even if there's someone like me, or there's someone skinnier, or there's someone on the overweight category. But if you are overweight, obese, morbidly obese, you have a drastically higher probability of damaging your joints or any other part of your body because you have more weight on you. Someone who is doing this and they're used to being able to do that with their body weight is fine. But if you have excessive amount of weight, now you're going like this and you have a higher likelihood of damaging your ankle. You have a higher likelihood of damaging your knee or damaging muscles in general because they are saying, hey, we're not strong enough to handle this much weight. Which is why if you're going to do resistance training, low to moderate when it comes to the weights. So I'm going to recommend between 15 to 20, which would be on the lower end. Or you can do like 25 or 30 if you're doing like body weight. But 15 to 20, especially if you're using any type of weighted stuff, that is the best one because it is light enough that you can focus on your technique and try to get that down as much as you can. But you'll be able to work on your slow twitch muscle fibers, which will help you out. When it comes down to it, if you're doing like 8 to 12 repetitions, that's strength endurance. That will, if you're going more on the 8, then it will be more like fast twitch. You're still gonna work on your slow twitch too, but it's not gonna be as affected as if you're doing like 12, 15, 20 repetitions. The more you go towards 1 to 8, the more of a fast twitch muscle fibers you're gonna be working. But don't get me wrong, your slow twitch, they'll get a little bit of a workout, but not as much as if you're in the endurance area. Now the fourth and last one that I'm going to recommend for this video is your sleep. Your sleep is crucial for the recovery standpoint when it comes to weight loss, weight gain, anything like that. You need to have sleep in order to do it correctly. Plus decrease the probability of you getting injured from your training. Because if you cannot recover properly, the likelihood of you getting injured from your training, even if your technique is good, is going to be higher. Being in a caloric deficit, you have less units of energy in order to use. Your body is under stress. If you don't have enough sleep, then that stress will take its toll. The cortisol levels are going to be higher. You're going to end up having a higher probability of damaging yourself. which is why you sleep. I recommend 6 to 8 hours of sleep, as much as you can. Some people, they can't get that, and they'll get like 5 hours, but they feel good. Ultimately, it comes down to it, get as much deep, rejuvenating sleep as possible. Non-REM and REM. You need to have both. Both of them are part of the sleeping process. But you want a lot more REM, because that's the deep, rejuvenating. A lot of people, they'll have dreams during the REM sleep. But that is the one you want. You want deep, rejuvenating sleep, because that will help you so much on the recovery. And ultimately, that will help you to achieve your goals much quicker. If you have any questions on these tips, or you want me to help you out in any way, contact me on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Stay strong.